With the recent price hike and also the windowless packaging, I'm definitely streamlining my collection, and this time around, Wolverine is gonna be the sacrifice. Look at that. The cover is really bulging out because there's just too many Wolverine figures that I've collected. And this is not even all of it. There are still some, I think just a few others which are in other containers. Here's the Juggernaut Wave Wolverine, Retro Wave Wolverine, and Toy Biz Wolverine. All of them in his yellow-brown outfit. This is a really typical move by Hasbro, giving us a repaint. And between these two, I really can't decide which one I would like to keep. The Toy Biz version definitely has the best head sculpt. But overall, I just simply prefer Hasbro's look. And also the Toy Biz claws isn't that great. They are really kind of flimsy looking. Yeah, I don't really like the Toy Biz body mold and also the claw. But the head sculpt is definitely superb. I'm gonna let go of this. And between these two, I really can't decide. I think for now, I'll just keep both of these. Here's the Retro Wave Wolverine, First Appearance Wolverine, and X-Force Wolverine. I don't even know why I buy this Wolverine. I mean, look at that face. I don't really relate to this appearance at all. And yeah, he just simply looks kind of terrible to me. And like he's in all black as if he just took off Batman's mask or something. First Appearance Wolverine has a really good head sculpt and paintwork, but this shoulder pads really doesn't look so great. Even when it's as close to the shoulders as possible, you can still see the gap between the shoulder ball and the yellow part of the torso. And for X-Force Wolverine, I'm definitely keeping this one. Although we have two earlier versions which are on a different body mold, this one definitely looks the best to me. And the claws are also better. They are thicker compared to the other recent claws. I'm gonna let go of this and keep these two. Here are the two variants of Daken and House of M Wolverine. The unmasked Daken really have a good head sculpt actually, and the paintwork on the arms is also good. This House of M Wolverine is really too tall and definitely doesn't fit into any of the X-Men teams. I'm gonna get rid of this and keeping these two. Look at the claws. Doesn't really look great also. Here's the Toy Biz Age of Apocalypse Wolverine and two of the same single-carded X-Force Wolverine from the Return of Marvel Legends era. I think I have the Hasbro version somewhere in my other box. I'm definitely gonna get rid of this. Here's a comparison with the more recent X-Force Wolverine. This is definitely a better height, but I actually don't mind the slightly taller height of the older one. And also the fact that the older one actually has shiny silver instead of the very matte grey of the newer X-Force Wolverine. I'm gonna let go one of these and keep the other. Here's the early Hasbro X-Force Wolverine, early Hasbro 2-pack Wolverine, and Toy Biz Days of Future Past Wolverine. At one point of time, this is quite pricey and sought after, and this one is sought after because of the jacket. I'm not sure when in the comics that Wolverine have this sort of hair. Not really sure if this is comic accurate, but it doesn't really look great. So for these three, I'm getting rid of all three of these. Now here are some blue and yellow Wolverines. Here's Parkwave Wolverine and the similar one with an unmasked head. And here's the Toy Biz version of this appearance of Wolverine. Really undersized and small. I'm definitely getting rid of these two. And I'll need to straighten out the Hasbro knees as well. Between these two heads, both of them actually looks good. Although this one looks a bit more cartoonish and this one looks a bit more realistic, I feel. But both of them looks good. But for the masked head, I definitely prefer the Hasbro version. I'm keeping both of the Hasbro and letting go of the Toy Biz versions. Here's the two variants of Toy Biz Wolverine. One of the X-Men Classics Wolverine and the early Hasbro Red Hulk Wolverine. These two Toy Biz versions are definitely oversized. I really don't know how Toy Biz does their scaling of figures because you can see the vast difference between these two Toy Biz figures. And even with this one, this is so much smaller than this earlier version of Wolverine. This unmasked head sculpt doesn't really look that good to me, but the masked version really does look good. But even with the good head sculpt, it's a letdown that the figure is kind of bigger sized compared to the other Marvel Legends figures. This X-Men Classics Wolverine also has a very good head sculpt, and the overall design of the figure is also quite good, except that it has a gimmick at the back. And the articulation isn't that great. You can see single hinge knee joints over here. And for the Red Hulk Wolverine, this is actually just a reuse of the Toy Biz Wolverine body mold. So the head sculpt is actually the same. And also the same lousy claws. And one thing I don't like about this figure is that the shoulder pads is just a bit high up on the shoulders, unlike the others which is more above the arm. Back then, it was quite sought after and it's quite expensive, but I think now Hasbro has done a better version of this Tiger Stripe Jim Lee Wolverine. I'm gonna let go of all of this. Here's this silver looking Wolverine. And here's Weapon X Wolverine with the Dio and whatnot. The alternate head is actually quite decent looking. Very good sculpt on it with a heavy greyish wash on the silver paintwork. But the figure itself is really small compared to this body mold. This silver Wolverine is the same as this body mold over here. But for this one, he's even smaller than this small Wolverine. So this is really like, I don't know, a troll or something. So small. Toy Biz was really inconsistent with the size of the figures of the same character. And we also have a Hasbro version of this, although we don't have this diorama over here. But yeah, I'm not going to use this, although it looks kind of great. The sculpt and the paintwork on it is actually really good. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to make use of this. So I'm going to let go of this Weapon X Wolverine, but I'm gonna keep this. This one can be used for the Death of Wolverine storyline. And the last two figures. We have this head-wearing Wolverine with a smile, and another one of the Parkwave Wolverine. I guess I can let go of one of them. In fact, I'm gonna let go of this as well. I don't really find any interest in Wolverine in a singlet and a hat. Yes, finally, the selling pile is so much more than the pile that I'm keeping. Yes, haha. Here are the ones that I want to let go. Most of them are the Toy Biz figures. The Wolverines are either too small or too big, like the ones at the back. Some of the early Hasbro Wolverines and two of these recent Wolverine figures. These are the ones that I'm keeping. These three Return of Marvel Legends Wolverine, Daken because we have not gotten an update of him yet, and I don't think we're gonna get anytime soon. And this Hasbro Wolverines as well. I can't make up my mind between these two brown and yellow Wolverine, so I guess I'll just keep both for now. Thanks for watching. Like I said, this has been a more fruitful session because I'm getting rid of more than half of the figures in the container. Next up will be my container of Captain America figures. Do check it out when I've uploaded it. In the meantime, check out these other videos from my channel.